Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. If you've been paying close attention to how the season is unfolding for the San Francisco 49ers, you already know that injuries have started to pile up in a way that could really threaten their Super Bowl aspirations. It's not just a minor issue. It's a serious concern that's forcing the team to look for solutions quickly. And as always, the NFC West is a highly competitive division, packed with talented teams that are eager to take advantage of any weakness the 49ers might show early in the season. So, let's dive into what's happening right now, what the team needs to do, and who might be on their radar to help them stay at the top. First off, it's important to understand the impact of these injuries. During Week 1, in their crucial game against the Seattle Seahawks, the 49ers saw two of their key offensive weapons go down. Wide receiver John Jennings suffered a shoulder injury, which has raised questions about his availability for upcoming games. When you think about Jennings, he's not just a guy who lines up on the outside. He's a versatile player, capable of making those clutch catches and providing that reliable presence in the passing game. His injury leaves a noticeable gap, especially in a team that's already dealing with some other absences. Then, just as if that wasn't enough, tight end George Kittle had to leave the game with a hamstring injury. Kittle, as many of you know, is not just a star tight end, but also one of the emotional leaders and a favorite target for Brock Purdy. Losing Kittle even temporarily can disrupt the flow of the offense, especially in the red zone, where Kittle's blocking and catching ability are invaluable. So in this moment, the 49ers are faced with a pretty concerning situation. Two key players, both vital to their offensive success, are now injured and potentially out for some time. Adding fuel to the fire, the team is still without Brandon Ayuk, who is recovering from a torn ACL he suffered last season. Ayuk, who's emerged as a major playmaker and a deep threat, is still on the sidelines, which means Brock Purdy is left with fewer options. Right now, the passing game is basically relying heavily on Ricky Pearsall, who has been doing his best, but is still unproven as a consistent threat on the outside. It's safe to say that this situation puts immense pressure on the 49ers, coaching staff and front office to find a quick fix, a way to bolster that receiver core and keep the offense firing on all cylinders. Now, here's where things get really interesting, because the team's needs are clear, and there's a potential target that could be just what the 49ers need to stay competitive and even strengthen their offense. Someone who might be available sooner rather than later. That player is Alan Lazard, the veteran wide receiver from the New York Jets. Lazard, as you may recall, was a key piece in Green Bay before heading to New York, and last year, he put up some decent numbers with the Jets, catching 37 passes for 530 yards and 6 touchdowns. Not bad at all, especially considering the Jets haven't been the most stable or explosive offense in recent times, and Lazard has primarily been a player who's thrived when paired with top quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. What makes Lazard an intriguing target now is his current status with the Jets. He was a healthy scratch in their season opener, which is a pretty clear indication that the Jets don't see him as part of their immediate plans. And as we all know, the Jets are in a bit of a rebuilding mode, especially at the receiver position. Lazard, being in the final year of his contract, has no long-term obligation to the team beyond 2025, which makes him a prime trade candidate. The Jets, if they can recoup at least some value for him, are likely to pull the trigger, especially since they're not planning to keep him around long-term if he's not fitting into their future plans. So the big question is, what would the 49ers have to give up? Well, considering Lazard's production last year and his current situation, it's probably not going to cost them a first-round pick or anything too exorbitant. Rumors suggest that the 49ers could snag Lazard for a 7th-round pick, which is a steal considering his size, his experience, and what he could bring to the offense. Lazard stands at 6'5", making him an ideal red zone target, a player who can go up and snag those contested catches, and give Brock Purdy a reliable option when it matters most. This move makes even more sense when you think about the current state of the 49ers receiver depth chart. With Jennings potentially out for a while, and Ayuk still on the mend, the team really needs to add someone who can step in immediately and contribute. Lazard's experience and size could be exactly what they need to fill that void. Even if Jennings is ready to return sooner than expected, adding Lazard now would give the team a much-needed boost in the short term, and it would help maintain offensive consistency and balance. Now, let's not forget, the 49ers' offense under Brock Purdy has been pretty impressive when healthy. We've seen flashes of what this team can do when everything clicks. Their ground game, led by Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, has been dynamic, and Purdy himself has shown incredible poise and decision-making. But football is a game of depth, and when injuries hit, that depth becomes the difference between a good season and a great one. Right now, the 49ers are at a critical crossroads where their ability to adapt quickly could define their season. And the timing couldn't be better for a quick deal. The NFL trade window is open, and the 49ers have the resources and the motivation to get something done fast. They can call the Jets, negotiate a deal, and have Lazard in training camp or on the field with Brock Purdy within days. This kind of quick turnaround could keep their offensive rhythm intact and give them that extra edge in close games, which are often decided by those little moments and those clutch catches from reliable receivers. Beyond just the immediate impact, acquiring Lazard also signals the 49ers' commitment to competing at the highest level. It's a move that shows they're willing to be proactive, to not wait until the trade deadline when prices are higher, but to act now while the situation is ripe. It's a strategic move that could pay dividends down the stretch, especially in the playoffs, where every possession, every catch, and every red zone target counts. Looking at the bigger picture, the NFC West is shaping up to be more competitive than ever. The Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals are all trying to make their moves, and the 49ers know that to stay ahead, they need to be aggressive. That means not just relying on their current roster, but adding pieces that can make a difference. Lazard's experience, size, and potential fit in Kyle Shanahan's offense make him a perfect candidate to help San Francisco keep that edge. So fans, this is a story worth watching closely. The 49ers are at a pivotal point early in the season, and their next move could very well determine how deep they go in the playoffs. The team is already one of the most talented and well-coached in the NFL, but injuries are a reality, and smart trades can turn the tide in your favor. Keep an eye on the news, because if this Lazard deal happens, it could be a game-changer for the 49ers. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come for our team. Go Niners!